Here's the thing. I wasn't born on time. One time I went to growing up, I learned, especially now that I live in Kenya, I learned that there was a time when you would go to the government office, for example, and I would make a decision whether I'm going to serve you based on your name. And suddenly your name carries baggage that you don't have. Okay? Because your name is a Kikuyu name, suddenly you and Uhuru and Kibaki and all these other guys have done this to the country. So on that basis, because I am low, I make a decision whether or not, what kind of service I'm giving. If you're low, I decide you and Raila and all the people have, and their baggage are yours. Now, how that affected me was that at one point, I sat down with a friend of mine from a very wealthy family, and we created a big business, and we did a business, plan, and we said, hey, madam, so take this to your grandfather so that he can look at this thing and he can fund us. Give us seed capital for this. Grandfather has looked at it, he's happy with it. Then he says, but I want to meet your partners. You know how Wazes are? They say, so where are you from? And who is and from where? From which village? But I know people from there. So we go. And then we discover. And then as I'm explaining, he eventually says, I'm sorry son, I can't help you. Just like that. I said, what? Why? He says, well, go ask your people. Can you imagine how fast I drove that car to my grandfather's house?
Yeah.
I drove that car like a madman. Burst into my grandfather's house. Did not say he sits in his chair. Did not say hello. I said, why won't you work with me? And remember wisdom?
Yeah.
He said, go ask your grandmother. Yeah. Because you can see, I'm boiling over. At this rate, I'm slapping. So he says, go ask your grandmother for tea so that we can talk. So I go to my grandmother and say, Muka said you give us tea. And I'm standing like this. So she looks at me and says, hey, okay, so how are your people? And she's speaking with me. Oh, I have to do this. In fact, can you go over there and get me some? As we are doing these things, I'm being forced to come because now I have to focus. We need to get this tea. I have to efficiently do what this woman wants so that I can go to that man and he can tell me what I want to know. So eventually we get it and I go back there and he says, so what happened? So I described to him what happened. He says, hey, this has nothing to do with me. It also has nothing to do with me. It has something to do with my great-grandfather. My great-grandfather. Now this is my grandfather talking. Wow. He says,
that's many years ago.
His great-grandfather. And that Mzee's grandfather killed a goat one time and agreed, we shall never marry, we shall never work, we shall never partner with nothing. Me and you not friends anymore.
Wow.
Now because those, just count the generations. There's me, there's my mother, there's my grandfather, there's his father, there's his grandfather, then there's his great-grandfather. Six people above me. 6 steps above me are the people who have decided that also from that other side, 6 levels down, we can't work.
We can't.
That guy's money can't come and support my vision. Just that. I went from my grandfather's house and straight to my brother's house. It is the modern way. In many tribes in Kenya, in Kikuyu, in Kao, in Luo, in the Mijikendas, we have a thing where you can do a ceremony to change your name. Isn't it? So you can call people for tea and say, from today henceforth, I shall no longer be called Arnold, I shall now be called John. For this reason. And because people in the community abide by that, they follow the reason. The modern way of doing that is something called the where you go and you are gazetted. People now say that from today you shall no longer do this, but you shall do that. It's been 20 years.
Let me just ask a question fast. Making your past life. Okay? You give us this story where you had to go and face your dad in your 20s and tell him that you hurt him and you had a talk about it. Is there a way for someone who doesn't actually have an opportunity to speak to their dad and they're still stuck in that particular
So
they
I
don't have their dad directly to talk to?
So I couldn't sit down with him now and say, I had said, actually you're saying I made a mistake. She's not like that. In some cases, we don't have parents who are like that.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine who's a therapist told me, then right, you'll never give her the letter, but you write to her. What I didn't tell you is that my biological father, just after we had formed a relationship, 3 years into forming a relationship, sent me on a tailspin around. The one thing that I learned it from book that says write to them. Writing it out is as good as meeting that person face to face. So write to that person. Write an actual letter to that person. It works. And write it longhand, not email. Don't email. Write it longhand. Actual exercise of writing it longhand still removes the same level of hurt and vents the same way as if you had seen them eye to eye.
You write the letter to your dad, then give it to your mom. That applies.
If we know our parents, if she'll hear it.
Yes.
Because sometimes they'll hear it defensively. Because our parents don't ever believe. Like now, I tell my mom some of the. I see how she babies my daughter, and I say, but you would never allow me to do some things. And she's like, me, I beat you, me. Manda, you want to tell me I beat you, me. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that you want to do, right? You do want to spend a little bit of time and say, well, if she's at the place of being able to listen, then by all means. If she's not, write the letter again. It does a lot.
Okay, now my question would be, if I write the letter, let's say, give to mom, am I supposed to discuss with her that letter? Or just give it to her?
She will call you.
Okay.
She'll call you. She will call.
Okay.
She's not gonna let it slide.
Okay.
You sent me this letter. Tell me about it.
Yes.
And you'll have to discuss it.
But if it's your mother, is there a masculine connection? Because
Yes.
mother does not have masculinity.
Mothers are more important than fathers in some respects. You're imprinted. You need to understand that you're imprinted by the entire community that brought you up. That's why my grandmother is an important part of this. Because when I was in Kenya, I was in her house. Isn't it? So, literally, my grandfather has imprinted some aspects of me. My father, my dad, my father, my mother, my grandmother, they've all imprinted aspects of me. So you know in your life who are the most prominent people to imprint into you. In some cases, because things happen, it is an uncle who became a father figure or whatever it is.
Both genes of men and women in us, but one is more prominent. In a way, because the women take care of children, there is a role they play. So for you being a man, there is a role that your mother has to play in your. So I mean, there is still she doesn't have the masculinity, but she actually has an influence in how you
I have a staff member who's struggling. Like he's really good at what he does, and he crashed with us. He completely crashed. crashed.
Uh-huh.
When we checked why, he was terrified of the responsibility. And he was now afraid of everything. His fear quotient went.
Yeah, the other way.
We all have fear, but now he's went
The other side.
extreme, right? So we're talking to a therapist, and he did a little bit of the work. And the thing that didn't realize is this: it comes from both his mom and his dad. His dad was bad, but his mom coped with fear, and his mom was more prominent in shielding her children to the extent that even when they would go to places like this one, like I remember going to the this one, and I'm not connected. And I asked him, so did you ever have headphones as a kid or a Walkman? He says, we could never ask because mom would react so strongly to ask him for something like, why do you think we're going to get money for this? You know, that sort of thing. That they stopped asking for things that they don't want. And now that has made him not ask for promotions, not ask for a raise.
Yeah.
Even when it's given to him, he's terrified. This means that it is new responsibility, and this means that I can fail. So you have to deal with everyone who imprints in a certain way.
Yeah. If I can just push it further, you can still use a substitute, right? For example, if you had the dad who raised you, would he take the place of your father and probably release that to him?
He would need to. So my dad is one who I went to try and release to him, and he said, no, you know what? Tell him. Anybody, if the principle is this: if I wrong him and you tell him, does it make it better?
But if I'm not there,
If I am not there,
yes.
and I'm the one who wronged you still tell me. We don't know what tribe he is because as far as Kenyan tribes are concerned, I speak fluent Giriama, fluent Kuk. If you listen to my Kiswahili, I'm a Swahili. If you listen to my Kuk, I'm a Kuk. If you listen to my Giriama, I'm a Giriama. Okay? If you listen to my German or my Italian, I'm from. So where am I from?
Kenyan citizen.
Oh, wow,
You
this
see
is
what I mean? You see what I mean? So I go to Gikuyu meetings for elders, and I'm able to sit because I get to go to Kama, right? And they allowed me, and they brought me here. So I'm at free. But in the Michigan, I sit in the council of elders. So I'm Giriama. You see what I mean? So for me, it is deliberate. Again, the first thing about being vegetarian, it is deliberate. I become archaic, and archaic become main tribes. Okay. So I'm trying to learn to do what. Okay, that's my project for 2022.
Is all of you killing that or misunderstanding. But the way you see where you come from, your parents had to, had gotten hard, then you come, you mess up, done something wrong. Like the way you have to approach the kid, not with all that anger, but asking the question why. But sometimes the question why I usually get a lot. The question should be, what makes you feel? There's a difference. Because the why you say so judgmental. Why? But if you ask the kid, what makes you feel? That shows that you're concerned.
So here's the thing. Now you have been here. So now you hear that question differently. Okay? Because people don't learn how to say words the way you'd like them to say. What you have to do, and that's wisdom now, what you have to do is to see them and learn them. So my son, if I come, rah! He goes, but later on, I guarantee, there's always going to be that time. We're having a good time, we're having a pizza, my son is going to call me to me. He's going to say, Dad, do you know that nowadays you're very amicable with me? Why? What have I done? When you don't, is there a beef? You get, like there was a point, I don't know whether it was stress or whatever it is. I saw every mistake that he made and I didn't see the good things that he did. So when we went for, pizza date, ice cream date, whatever, and we're just chilling, he brought it up. He says, I want to ask you something and not get pissed. I'm just wanting to ask you this question. Is there something that I am fundamentally wrong? Like, is it me or are you only seeing bad things about me? And just because of the fact that the setting is a cool setting, I'm able to listen. And then where it was him and his spouse and he felt aggrieved, like I didn't hear his truth. That's when he brings up his truth. He says, hey, by the way, you know that day that me and Wenda are playing and then you said that it was my fault? Actually, it wasn't my fault. It was his fault because this was the arrangement we had reached and this is how we dealt with it. And then he came and told me this story. But you are so strong that I couldn't tell you that. You see what I mean? Which is why, see, I've heard, what is my appropriate response? Because we must always be appropriate.
First of all, apologies.
In fact, it's not first of all apologies. Because first of all implies that you must explain.
Yes, you apologize.
Okay?
Yeah.
It is not first of all apologize, it is apologize full stop. Because if I was wrong, if I at that time acted inappropriately, the person that acts inappropriately must apologize. But if it turns out that actually it's him who acted inappropriately, then we analyze it. Okay? In such a way that he sees that it was inappropriate. So we see where I was inappropriate and where he's inappropriate. And you know why that's important for us? Because apologizing is a muscle that we were not taught. The reason we struggle with apologizing today to anyone is because we never saw it with our parents. So apologize. Even when sometimes you apologize, even though you don't understand, just sit down. You apologize. Tell us. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
So you just hear it and learn the value. Okay? And realize now that you've been here, he is just a man. He's your father, but he's a man. When I was maybe his age, my mom started saying something. She started saying, see all the things you enjoy, they're mine. They're not yours. Even the clothes that you're wearing, by the way, do you know this to be true? Do you know this? Even the clothes that you're wearing are not yours. They are owned by the person that bought them. Okay? So if you want your own, buy them. Okay? So by the time I was 11, 12, 13, thereabouts, this message had really been whatever. But one time, we are boys, we bring head one time. I said, so you take them. I came and found my wardrobe empty.
Goodness.
She took everything except for one pair of shorts, 2 t-shirts, and slippers. Everything else was taken away. It was Malindi, so it's summer, right? It's always summer. Okay, slippers, one. So all my cool things gone, and she gave them away.
No.
She didn't take them and keep them. She gave them away. Says, so I came, I said, hey, who was in my closet? Says, no, remember yesterday we talked. And you told me I take my things.
Yeah.
I'm taking them. That's when I realized she was serious. For 4 weeks. And she told even the housemaid, I pay housemaid, you don't pay housemaid. So the housemaid serves me, not you.
Yeah.
So washing those clothes, those few clothes you have, is not by my husband, it's by yourself. Unless you can afford to pay your housemaid. Okay? And the big lesson that she was pushing was, be responsible and understand that there are privileges and there are rights. Kids, your father can be taken to jail if he does not feed you. Not if he buys meat. If the fellow decides to give you ugali and sukuma wiki every day, no jail.
Yeah.
Because food is the right, not pizza.
Yeah.
Okay? Not good, not great food.
It is food.
Food is the right. And where you put your benchmark is the poorest of families eating githeri every day, eat
Yeah.
ugali and sukuma wiki every day. That's the benchmark.
Other benchmark.
So if so long as your father has given you food every day, you're fine. So I used to sit at the dining table while they're eating their nice meat, and those are the days where she makes chicken. But me and my ugali and sukuma wiki.
Your mom?
Yes,
Wow.
that was 4 weeks of
Yes,
of
sir.
2 lessons. Yes.
That's a more like
That is 4 weeks of lessons. For 4 weeks, I ate ugali and sukuma wiki every day.
4 weeks.
For 4 weeks. For 4 weeks, I had to wash my t-shirt and shorts and slippers. For 4 weeks, I needed to make that room. Otherwise, I would be sent to the SQ. If I was going to keep that room dirty, I was going to be sent to the SQ. It's as simple as that. Because it's our house. I don't pay rent in that house. And nobody else is going to come and clean it. So if I want that room, then I keep it to her standards, not to mine. This is the interesting thing about parenting that I learned from her. I go to my dad and said, Dad, man, overrule this story. Man. You're the head of the home.
Yeah.
My dad says, Pony, what happened?
Sure.
Eh? Pony, what happened? So I describe in full anger.
Yeah.
What was it? And he's like, but now, even me, I have to live here.
Me and you in the same boat.
Hey, now that one,
Yeah.
I can't enter that story because even me, I have to live here.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we can do about this? He's with me.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't know. Even him, he doesn't know. So he lets me stew over it. On the 3rd week is when he says, by the way, have you tried apologizing? I was like, but no. He says, yeah, maybe you try. So I went and apologized, but I didn't apologize sincerely. Right? I was apologizing so that I get my clothes back. And so my mom can read it. So she was like, I've heard you. And then she moved on with her life. But my dad was there. So he called me and says, don't apologize because you want the clothes. Let's analyze this. Why did she take the clothes away? So we analyzed and I realized my blunder. So then I went back and apologized properly. And she said again, I've heard you. Another week went by. Then she said, let's go shopping. By that time, 4 weeks have passed. Have I not learned this lesson?
Yeah, you know.
To this day, now here's the thing. To this day, I have known that I can only call shots on things that I bought. Okay? That's how my mom influenced me. To this day, by the time I was 13, I was looking for a job. Okay? I was looking for odd jobs to do. So that at least if my computer is taken away again, I can buy another one. By the time I was 16, I was making $1,000 a month. Okay? Like I had to become this biashara fella. And I found a support system that helps me to do the biashara even when I'm in school. Because, and my parents were very, see, it's your money. Please.
What you do with it is yours.
What you do with it is yours. If you're not doing bad things with it, we are not entering that story of what you're doing with your money. It's your money. If you're living outside of values, then there we come in. But so long as you're making money and you're living within set values. So by the time I was that age, I wasn't very cool as a kid in terms of like buying clothes and things like that. But in terms of technology, bought the best computer at the time. I upgraded my computer eventually. I was in my hood. I was the person with the server. That was influence from my mom. Now, what's interesting is I tell that story today, I tell that story to my son. My mama is sitting there. And says, me!
I did that.
Instead of reinforcing.
She was like, no. Yeah,
I
I took my child's clothes away. No,
Yeah, I can
that's not
relate.
me.
can relate with that.
Yeah, I can do it.
They always like